kind of showed you this chart before, this picture before. This is a house one of my clients sold in San Mateo, California for $1.4 million. It's a three bedroom, one bath house with a 1-car garage built in the 50s. It was nicely renovated. $1.4 million. This is what $1.4 million buys you in Austin, Texas. 4,500 square foot custom house, 5-car garage on the lake. Mm-hmm. So, this is kind of a wake up scene now that people can now work from home. A lot of the companies are saying, well, great, look, work from this home instead of this home.
Yeah, we don't care where you are.
Yeah, come on out.
Right.
And we're actually seeing that. We talked about that in the show. The office spaces may not be nearly as much in demand as it was. Now, you could also take this one house like Mr. Bill did, I call Mr. Bill, that's his first name, who sold this house, and he did what's called a 1031 tax deferred exchange and bought these 9 houses from me. And all brand new right here in the Central Texas region. He went from a rent that he was collecting of $3,200 a month here to over $13,000 rent here.
Yeah, wow.
So just as my perfect client would be somebody who owns one of these as a primary residence and maybe one of these as a rental. He can sell that one, or she can sell it and buy one of these from me here in Austin, Texas, and then the other house can go for these 9 houses where he doesn't have to work anymore.
Right.
So that's my perfect client. So if you're out there, please
find Ken. He's easy to find.
And it kind of when I go through the presentation, I redid it about a year ago because I wanted people love stories, and this is my true story, and I'm not going to go deep into it, but it's about my Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is one of the episodes.
One of our first ones,
right? And it had to do with my father was in the military, attorney, and he was a real estate attorney, but he never really kept his real estate over the years. He bought and sold. So this is actually the house that I lived in 1963 when I was born. He retired from the military. It's on Lexington Lane. I think it's about
cool house,
1,200 square feet out there in San Mateo as well. And he paid $17,000 for this house with a VA loan, zero down. Okay. And so that house now is worth $1.6 million with no renovations on it. So that's one of the things that I said, well, what if he just kept every house that he lived in? We lived in about 12 houses over the course of his lifetime. I figured that up. It was about over $10 million in real estate, and it would have been all free and clear by now. Wow. Just by the houses we lived in, not counting if you invest it.
Right.
So another good point that we do in the presentation is going to be talking about predictabilities of the market, counter cycles. Okay, so a lot of people don't know about this, and what it is that Austin and California and the coast are on somewhat of a counter cycle market. When California is booming, Austin can be tanking. It's not always, but this is a pretty close representation. And if you play these markets where you sell at the peaks and buy in the troughs and do it tax deferred like we teach in our classes, you can get very wealthy very quickly. And so the counter cycles is what makes people.
And this is all going to be covered even more in more
in
detail.
the Austin Investment Webinar.
Right, okay.
AustinInvestmentWebinar.com.
Okay.
So that's my master class that I'm teaching, and then there's going to be more follow-up information. Sure. But it's really, this is the presentation that I do live when I'm out.
Gotcha.
And there's 2 real presentations. The first one is the whys and the hows, and why should I invest in real estate, and how should I and who should I invest with, and what kind of real estate should I invest in, and who should I team up with. And then the second part of it is getting to another deep dive is going into, here's what the inventory is, here's what it's done, here's what your rents are going to be, here's what your positive cash flow is going to be every month, here's how it's going to typically perform